Hey, good morning everybody. It is March 30th, 6:30-ish in the morning, and I am back in the same area as my previous video, the Andorra Forest. My wife just dropped me off at Pitcher Mountain Trailhead, and I am basically doing a big C going up here until it connects with the Greenway trail, taking a left into the woods. And I'm hiking all the way up to King Street, which is in Washington, Class 6 road. Then I'm taking a right on that and walking home from there because I live on Kings Highway, which is the other opposite end of that mountain. So I'll be doing some trail maintenance. Got my foldable saw, my trusty steed, or sidekick. And we're going to be looking out for anything that's blocking the trail. And then giving that update to the MS Greenway group that maintains this trail from Mount Sunapee all the way to Mount Monadnock. So it's about a 48-mile stretch, peak to peak, that they maintain. So I decided to do some trail maintenance today and get some more exercise for my cross US bicycle trip coming up in May. So let's have some fun. Alright, so that tells you it's a 1.5 up the top of the hill for blueberries, but at that same spot is where we're going to go back in the trail. Now it's a little bit cold at the moment, so this is going to be crunchy, but hopefully not slippery because I didn't bring my trekking poles. Figure I won't need them once it starts to warm up a bit. I just gotta watch out for some of these spots of ice. Still quite a bit of snow. Just one little section. You would think you'd get a little bit more sun out here. But maybe we'll start getting cleared. Yeah, we poked out of the woods over there somewhere yesterday. Came across the blazes. And you can see the roads right over there. If you can see it well. So both taking me back up to the same spot on top. In fact, I think we'll be poking back out into the road. Taking that mostly up if I remember correctly. You can see they've cut some trees years ago. That's basically what I'm doing. I can't cut something that big, but I have a little folding saw. I can take out smaller stuff. Worst case scenario, I just report it to the powers that be if there's any big stuff. Taking a left turn. There's the wild one. Still a bunch of snow here. Take a turn and go that way. It should all soften up as soon as the sun gets up. Be a good day for melting. I think Friday we're supposed to get 1 or 2 inches of snow. Who knows? If it stays warm enough, maybe it'll just be rain, which would help melt all this. And here we are. Back on the access road. You see the blaze way up ahead, so now we're heading this way. I think this takes us to the top, and then we'll catch the trail again. I mean, this is part of the trail, but as far as woodland, checking for limbs and such. Now I think, if my memory serves me correct, maybe it's just a road walk all the way up. So, those of you unfamiliar with this, this is the MS Greenway Trail, Monadnock Sunapee Greenway Trail, which is a 48-mile, I guess you can call it a through hike, from Mount Sunapee to Mount Monadnock. And most people apparently go from from Monadnock to Sunapee, which I didn't. I don't. Monadnock's the more majestic mountain, and so I head up there because you get the views and stuff. And now, according to what I've learned recently, and you can try to verify it or not, Mount Monadnock used to be the second most climbed mountain in the world after Mount Fuji. But I remember seeing something, and I haven't corroborated it yet, that Mount Fuji added an auto road, and so it's no longer the #1 hiked mountain in the world because people are driving up it. I gotta buzz the dog here. She's, I think there was a chipmunk going in the other direction. She chased after it. That's why I keep the collar on her, so she knows to let it go. So yeah, so this section right here, or back at Pitcher Mountain, if you watch my previous one, when we were out here bushwhacking out in this general area, Pitcher Mountain is close to being the halfway point. The halfway point's up further, so it's about 2 miles off the halfway point between the two peaks, and it's basically our front yard because this is all protected forest. So if we went through that woods over there, I would be at my road, which, where we exit today, on the other side of the mountain, is part of my road. Just changed to King Street, and that's in the town of Washington. Now, we can take our four-wheeler up and over now. I guess there was an issue beforehand with that between the town and the state, and from what I understand, they could, they're not going to bust your chops for going up and over, because this is an ATV-friendly community. And we do have a lot of ATVs blowing by our house during the summer, coming from all over, which is kind of cool. So now that I have one, I like to go exploring some trails the easier way this year. But we continue going up the access road until we get to Hubbard. So this road goes to the left here, which is where we're going. But I do want to come out here, now that we're getting our dog used to our bikes, I want to come out here, start at Pitcher Mountain, or I could ride from my house and head that direction on my mountain bike. That'll take you back to my road. It comes out, it's still class 6. So I'd like to take the dog out that way, and she can run to our heart's content. And this way on the left is private. I believe it goes to 123. So you can walk up here, but, well, no, it says please use other trails. So it'd say you could walk up here, but no, I guess that's not it. Looks like they dug out a new drain ditch. Put some new piping in. Yeah, that's the only thing that's kind of confuses me about this trail is with all these woods you can use to build trails, why are we walking on the road? And I get it, I built trails in Florida and maintained them. So there's a lot of work, so it's very possible because they can't get enough volunteers or so to help maintain the trails that they do this. A lot of the Greenway is on private property, so there's only so much you can do. You're required to stay at the shelter locations. There's only one tent platform, which we'll be passing by here, the Fox Brook platform, but the rest are shelters, either right on the trail or off a little bit, that you're required to stay at because it's private property, and you cannot have campfires, which, when I do long distance hiking, I'm too tired at night to want to tend to a campfire. I want to get my sleeping quarters set up and get some food in my belly and take the pack off. and just chill. I mean, I guess you could throw a tent right there if you needed to, but the shelters are relatively close to each other. It's not terrible. There is one section back toward the other direction that it would be nice if they could put another shelter up, because there is a big stretch in that direction, so you could be putting in a long day. Oh, they just recently cleared this for new habitat. You can see all the young growth, man. This is all going to be full of leaves and covered into summer. Hopefully the critters like it. We're almost to the top. Alrighty. We're at the top of one hill. Our next hill is Jackson, further down. But this is where, usually around June, July, August, the place is packed with cars. And people that come from all around to go through all the blueberries. And you see them. I was up here at my favorite spot, which is further up, and I ended up picking more blackberries that day than blueberries, and I got a freezer full. I keep a freezer full all year. That was my favorite part of hiking the Appalachian Trail, because I was in Maine in August during blueberry season. So, my favorite time of year. Now, you can't see it. We're not at Hubbard Hill yet. Not sure if you can see it. I can zoom in and try. But direct center is right there. That should be the Hubbard sign, which will be there in a couple minutes. Okay, here's the official halfway spot. Okay. So I was close on my guesstimate, because according to my app that's tracking me, going back to Pitcher Mountain is 2.3 miles. So it was pretty good. I was close. I said 2. You see here's all these side trails. Thankfully this is marked, where people come and do their blueberry picking. You do have to, I haven't seen any, but I would assume you have to be careful with the black bears when it's blueberry time. Now I am dressed like a black bear at the moment, so hopefully I don't run into any of them. I did not bring my pistol, and I did not bring my little air horn. And it's that time of year where they're out now, so I don't think there'll be an issue. I mean, we have them come strolling down our street from time to time in the backyard, and the dog goes nuts, and that's pretty much it. Here's the signpost. Not sure why they put it that high, but it's all good. Some views. My house is somewhere in that direction. And we continue. The next hill will be Jackson. Alright, just past the sign here. It's a little bit of work right here we can be doing. I mean, they cut it up there, but they didn't move it off the trail, so I'm going to get in there with my saw and hopefully do it better. It's a little better. It's not in the trail anymore. Mosey on. Looks like the guy that maintains the Andover Forest is out here doing some trimming. I don't know if that'll help grow some more blueberries after it decomposes. Maybe he's gonna come back later and cut it up better. I mean, if you cut it up better, it'll decompose better. Other than that, it just looks like a mess. My opinion, but I like to cut it down so it's not like doing this, draping over the bushes and out of the way. I'll get this out of the way here. So, I'm not sure. I thought there used to be a trail called Jet's Trail or Jeff's Trail or something. I'm wondering if that was it, and it was part of it, but is no longer part of it. Not sure if that's on private land and it changed hands and somebody just decided they didn't want the trail in their yard anymore. That's happened. Yeah, the trail used to go in the other direction, used to go through a lady's yard, and I think it was 2020. My wife and I were hiking it. She was out there, and she was a snowbird and goes to Florida. But I think she's since passed away because they rerouted the trail, which is fine. It did go through someone's yard. Oh, okay, we got some work here. We take a bit to cut that up, but we'll do it. Really amazed that there's still a lot of snow out here. It's quite deep. It hasn't warmed up a little, but I think by the time we're done, it'll be warmed up to 60. I anticipate getting home probably around noon. It's quite a bit of a walk downhill. I don't know if there's any further up I have to go when I get to King Street, but I know it's a lot downhill. Just cleared another tree back there. So between Hubbard and Jackson Hill has been a little bit debris across the trail, but so far that saw is doing its job. Water source, I'm not sure if that's coming from a spring, but cool. Pretty sure it dries up in the summer. This one does. If I'm not mistaken, we're probably almost at the Foxbrook tent site, because I thought there was a bunch of streams on either side of it, and there's one good one that goes right next to it. I'll check my mileage after, because I think it's like 3.4 miles from Pitcher Mountain parking lot, because I often think about coming out here for an overnighter with the wifey and the dog. I don't know if many people do this during the winter. I mean, I suppose you could if you're geared for it. We do hiking in the winter. Just haven't done any camping in the winter. These things are always cool because the work it takes to slice that log down the middle. Never mind bringing this stuff out here. It's crazy. It's hardcore. There you go. Another brook. Another water source. A little bit muddy here, but overall, the trail is in good shape from what I'm walking. The caretakers of the trail do request that you kind of give it a couple weeks before doing your through hike, just to let everything dry up. There's another stream. But I've been trying to do trail work since I moved here, and I've been missing all the communications apparently. And finally saw a posting on Facebook. So I said, yeah, I'll come out and do this. They only asked me to do from Hubbard to Kings, but it doesn't make any sense to me, since I started at the parking lot, not to do that trail section as well, which there really wasn't anything there. So far, the only thing I found is in between Hubbard and Jackson. We're not at Jackson yet, so there's some stuff over there, but I don't know. It doesn't look like the trail's going that way. Oh yeah, I think I see the Foxbrook tent site. We'll take a coffee break there. There you go, Foxbrook tent site. There's a little debris there. People have been here. I have tented here. There you go. Oh, nice. Right there. What does that say? And what do you see here? These are a-holes that come park at the parking lot and come here and desecrate the place. And they're the same people that'll probably tell you that they take care of the environment. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to pack that out with. But as you can see here, there's a toilet. If you don't mind being out in the woods, a lot of them are like that. There are spots here where people have tented, and the Fox Brook is right there for a water source. So this is a great place to camp, except for the a-holes that come out and do that crap. Take a break. Coffee. Want a snack? Want some? Yeah, speaking of a-holes, look at that. Just a trash people. Trash. Alright. Back on trail. Yeah, the Fox Brook tent site, according to the GPS, is 3 miles from the parking lot. Easy enough for yahoos to bring their beer and crap. But putting a fire like that, I mean, this is a protected forest. But I think this is part of the Andover Forest. I'm not sure if it's private land, but if it's private land or anything, this is how stuff gets posted because of people like that. And they're drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon. Talk about garbage beer. At least bring in something decent. But up ahead is the Fox Brook. So all the footprints we saw beforehand stopped there. I don't see any fresh ones here. So somebody, I think, was doing some winter camping, partying. This is Fox Brook, which runs yearly. Nice little pool. And yeah, it's easy enough to get there from the tent site. And I'm not sure why that's a tent site and not a shelter like the rest, but I'm wondering if it's because maybe this is part of the Andover Forest. And also accessibility for material, even though there's a tent platform there made out of wood. So if you're watching this and you have knowledge, post in the comments, because I'm just curious. Because everywhere else there's shelters, but thinking about it, those places have access, or relatively close access, to bring stuff in, where this is a 3-mile hike. So we continue. A little frozen here. Wait for that sun to pop up. And here we go. Like I said, I knew there was like streams. A lot of streams near the Fox Brook tent site. I think this one is also a year-rounder. So if you're coming from Washington, heading south, I believe it's south, then you can camel up. I mean, you can camel up right at the Fox Brook, but there's plenty of water here. Make our way over. There we go. Just cleared a little debris there. There's a little something here. We'll get out of the way if I can pry it out. These are always cool to find. There's a couple of them on the trail. So you see the basement. Assuming that was where the stairs to go out were. Little cottage. Somebody lived out here. Somebody had to survive out here. But, you know, they'd have to get their water back at the brook. Unless they have a dug well. I'm guessing they didn't have a dug well here because it's all rock. It's an old logging road. We go this way. And then shortly we'll be going uphill to Jackson. Oh man, talk about living out here back in the day, you know, 200, 150, 200 years ago. That's hardcore stuff. That's when there was no confusing about the genders. Men were men. But I digress. So this is a bit of a climb coming up. It's all access road. Or old logging road, I should say. But besides the end mountains, you got to climb. I think this is the highest climb in between. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Show you the elevation when we get there. There you go. 2061. That's got to be Lemster over there with the windmills. There's a ski area, and I'm not sure. I don't know my ski areas. Could it be Sunapee? I have no idea. And way over there is Monadnock. That's where you're gonna hike to if you're at this point. That's a couple days, maybe 3. I don't know. You can do this trail quick enough if you're a good hiker. It's it said 48. I just hiked the West Coast Trail in British Columbia, which is harder than this, except for the ends, obviously. I think the highest elevation there was 700 and change feet. Most people do that 7-8 days. We're going to do it in 8 days in August. Well, I'm taking my wife back to do it, but I did it in 4. I've told the wife I was thinking about doing this, carrying like a small pack like I got on, and trying to do it in 24 hours. I think it's doable, but it'd be a challenge, that's for sure. I ain't getting any younger. So now, we're just walking our way to King Street. And that'll be done for trail maintenance for today. These are my favorite sections when I'm long distance hiking. Carrying 40 pounds on your back. And it's pine needles. It's beautiful. Now maybe this is the old Jets Trail or something. Oh, it says here. There you go. Ben Reed Road from Jets Road onto the Barney Brook Trail. So yeah. Well, we know that could have been private property, and you know, somebody could have been burning there and camping there, and they posted it and said, hey, we don't want it anymore. That's why we can't have good things. I'm just guessing on that, so that's not the gospel. But it could happen. I know if that was my property and I saw all those trash and fire, I would definitely post it. Or have it so you need a permit to go through. Nobody has some accountability. I'm still thinking it was locals. Locals. That's my guess. I'm sticking to it. Nice little section. Seems so peaceful. Still snow on the ground though. The sun's trying to make its way through. I think this stuff is going to go from stiff and crunchy to a little bit on the mushy side. Much obliged. See that little bit in there? It says, please respect the landowner's request. Not too hard to do, people. Not pointing you back to Jackson. Barney Brook Trail. Got a little bit to do there. Let's see if I can just lift it and move it a bit. All right, we got another one. Let's see if I can do the same thing. There we go. That's one big boulder. See any others? No. How'd I get there? Now, was there some big cosmic explosion? Was there a great flood that could have pushed that? I don't know. I don't know if we'll find out on the other side of life. But it'd be kind of cool to figure it out. But it's just so weird. Out in the middle of nowhere. I don't see any remotely like it. So if you know how it got there, let me know in the comments. Alrighty, a little bit of a downhill. Oh, maybe I'll check my mileage because it's like 5.8 miles from the parking lot to Kings Street. According to my map, you can get the MS Greenway maps. It's like a book, and I have the maps, and I photocopied them, and then I laminated them, so I don't have to take the whole book. But it's got everything in it: rules, regulations, history. You can get them at the Washington General Store, which is a must-go-to when you're doing this trail because you have to go through Washington. And you get, they do serve hot food there, which is great. So if you're going to do this trail, you can contact them. They'll send you one, I think. You just pay for it, or you might be able to order it online. But it's nice to have. I don't carry the whole book. I just carry the maps. I really don't need the maps anymore, but I just like looking at them. See, the snow's getting soft now. You're starting to break through. I'm just amazed at how much snow is left. Here we go. Another cool historical marker. Cool, they're only here 20 years, 23 years. That's too long living out in these woods. Little tiny place. Assuming they didn't have kids. Look at my kids way out here. They farmed it. That's even more crazy. I don't see the usual stone wall. There's a somewhat one there. I'll show you they farmed it. Oh, and here's a side note, a little tidbit. There's a guy on Instagram, and I think he's around this New England area, and he posts stuff about the area. And what he said, you can tell whether somebody used their land for agriculture or for like cattle or sheep or something by the size of the rocks in the rock wall. And they said if the rock wall was all big stones, it was used for cattle or grazing. And if there's little stones mixed in, it was used for crops. Because obviously you need to be able to dig the soil to grow the crops. So that's something cool to know. No matter what, it took some grit and determination to do all this. Alright, so I did check the mileage from here to according to the end of King's Highway, or King Street. We're at 4.7, and we need to go 5.8, so we got 1.1 to go. There you go. Started watching the town line. So, a little over a mile to go. My average, so a little over a mile to go. My average pace is 2 miles an hour. We could be going a little bit faster because I'm not carrying a super heavy pack. So, within an hour, we'll be heading home. You know, I might get back earlier than I anticipated. Another pond. Potential water source. I'm sure that's there all year. But you're so close to the other stuff, I wouldn't bother wasting the time going down there and filtering that. What's there if you need it? Fearless leader, leading the way. Cool. Literally and figuratively. Alrighty. I think this is going to be our biggest challenge of the day. If I can't do anything with this, I'll just record where I'm at, and they can come with a bigger stove. Yeah, my saw's not going to do that. I'll be there all day. That'll have to get reported to those who come out with the bigger saws. Unfortunately, I got it marked out so I can tell them where it is and they can access it quicker. Unless they want me to come back out with my chainsaw, in which case I will grab my four-wheeler and take the access road up, or go up from King Street, King's Highway, from where I live. And then that would be just under a mile hike in. Taking a little break, having some coffee, apple, homemade beef jerky. Georgia approved. Yeah, we'll have to cut that one up. Woo. Let's see if we can just pick this sucker up. It's cake. Maybe I'll see if I can move that more. Yeah, much better. Got your stick. Got your stick. She's doing some trail maintenance. Only problem is she brings the sticks back. There you go. She's earning her keep. Snow's getting a little punky. Oh, there you go. He looks still in good shape. Must be a boggy area. Wetlands. As we make our way to King Street. Lots of these little ones today. Not sure if I can pick it up. Walk it over. There you go. If I can do it, you can do it. So come on out. Go on to the Monadnock Greenway Facebook page and connect with somebody. This is my first time doing it. I've been trying to do it for a while, but communication's been an issue. So, I used to help build and maintain single track trails in Florida. And that's a whole different animal. So, that's my way of giving back. The same thing with since I thru hiked the Appalachian Trail in 2020, I'm now doing trail magic. So we set up sometimes before Mount Moosilauke, before the hikers have to really start getting tested. We set up a hiker feed. I think this year I'm going to do a combination. I'm going to do some in Massachusetts as well as New Hampshire. It depends on when hikers are coming through. I mean, they're on trail now, but I like the bulk of them. Depends on when they're on trail and all my other adventures I'm going on. I get a little window of opportunity to do some trail magic. Not sure if they need to take this one out at all. You can just step right over it. Looks like it might have been there for a while. Oh, here we are. Yeah, so I guess that one, if they want to get that one when they go to get the other one, that'll be fine. See, if they let me come out here with a chainsaw, I'm assuming there's a certain protocol for that, because most trail places, you got to be certified and all that. So if you take a left turn, you continue on the Greenway that way, and that'll take you into the town of Washington. Oh, we're in Washington now, but it'll take you to Faxon Hill Road. Then you'll take a right on that. You'll walk for a little bit, go back into the trail on the right-hand side. Then it'll take you into the town of Washington, where you stop and get something great to eat, fresh food, and you continue on your way. But this ends my trail maintenance day, because I'm taking a right and walking home. Come on, Georgia, let's go home. So it's just a little over 3 hours. I want to say I got on the trail before 6:30, and it's 9:39 now. So now I'm pretty sure this is like a 3-mile hike home, which is fine because it's all, you know, it's clear. But I'm assuming it could be holes of water up top. A lot of people live down here off the grid because there's no power out here, and more power to them. I would love to do something like that. But more out west where it's a little bit, well, I don't know if it's a little bit affordable anymore, but where it used to be affordable. So, about a 3-mile hike, and my house is right there. It's all good. Yeah, since I'm walking home this way, I can scope out how the road is. Should I need to come back out here with the 4-wheeler. And I'm not sure if I'm going to have another I might. I think the guys will probably, the ladies or whoever's out here, I think I might have another opportunity to come out here when they do some more trail work. And I could use that, unless I bring the vehicles up there and park, which I could. But I can come from this direction. I can bring things to drink. I can bring tools. If they need something, I have access. Of course, the other side is I follow this road down and take a right on the Route 123, go up to Pitcher Mountain from that way, and meet them there. But if I did the Greenway trail again, I could skip going through the woods there, just walk this to my house, get a hot meal, shower, and a bed for the night, pop into the woods across the street, bushwhack back up to Pitcher Mountain, and keep going. I don't have to be a purist because I've already done the whole trail. So I can do my own thing, do a little blue blazing. Not like bushwhacking, but yeah, I wonder if this is a spot. I bet it is. One day I hiked with my dog and decided to come out this way, and you know, there's just, things happen for a reason, and I know that's the spot. There was a guy with his, I guess it's an Enduro motorcycle. He was going across. He was wedged in there. That was all water, deep water, and he was not getting out. He was putting logs down the whole shebang. So I came in there, and I just walked right in the mud and helped him get the bike out. And he wanted to buy me a brand new pair of shoes and stuff. So I said, dude, I just hiked the Appalachian Trail. I was in mud, dirt, sweat. It didn't matter to me. I said there was a reason why I was here. So he works for I think a gun store. I got his phone number, and he says if I ever need another firearm, let him know and he'll give me a discount. I really don't need any more, but appreciate the offer. But yeah, you know, sometimes you get that sixth sense, inclination, whatever, that you got to go do something, you got to go somewhere, and then you find out why. So I thought it was pretty cool that I listened to whatever was telling me to keep going on the trail, and I was able to help someone out. It's all good. Oh, just so there's no confusion here, these woods belong to Georgia. She pretty much knows every inch of them. Ain't that right, Georgia? Ain't that right? I will have to put the leash on her when we get to the end of this road, because we'll be on the main drag at that point. But for now, I like she can run free. Alrighty. That's the end of the Class 6. I don't know if this is officially Kings Highway now. But we have hiked, and we have come out on that trail over there. Sometimes we just follow roads that are out in the woods as far as we can follow them. She's probably thinking we're going in there. But we're not. We're going this way. Yeah, there's this house behind us on the left. I think they're off the grid. Right there. My wife brought my truck up, my old truck, right to that point. And he had a tractor. And he was going to offer to go up if we couldn't get the motorcycle out. But by that time, my wife was hiking up to meet me. And we met up. I said, yeah. And the motorcyclist had already driven by my wife, so there's no way out but here. So we were good at that point. But yeah, they're definitely off the grid. There's no power here. No internet, no nothing. I got water. The robin over there. So you know it's springtime. So I'll probably wrap up the video here. It was a good day. We got cleared out a lot. There was just that 8-inch diameter white birch that's got to get taken care of. So it was a good day. The downside is, at the parking lot right where the gate is, go in, there's a stack of freaking toilet paper. So, yes, I will be judgmental. A bunch of flatlanders coming up here that don't respect the land. They probably claim to love nature. You hike up to the top of Pitcher Mountain, you can't pick up a piece of toilet paper. Or just kick it into the woods and bury it with some leaves. Oh, it'll disintegrate. That's the lazy mentality. But it's still an eyesore. So, my local peeps, take a drive over and see what you think. And then the second thing was the crap at the Foxbrook tent site. And I'm guessing that's a bunch of local punks. I'm going to say males. I don't think females tend to do that. Females aren't. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I just don't think girls or ladies or whatever are going to drag a 24-pack of beer out into the woods and leave a mess. So I'm thinking it's local guys going out for an overnight, quote-unquote, winter camp, because there was no footprints past that point. They made their own little fire pit and left all the crap on it. And left all the crap inside the hiker box where you sign in. So, hopefully if you're watching this, time to take off your little boy pants, put your man pants on, get back out there and clean up your mess. And if you know those people, please encourage them to do so, because someone else is going to have to clean that mess up. I couldn't. I have a small backpack. I didn't bring any trash bags with me. I didn't think that, locals would be slobs like that. But I guess, rednecks aren't just down in the south. So that's my rant. Do with it what you will. But it just sucks when you go out there and you're trying to do something to make something better, that you see stuff like that. And it's definitely not through hikers, because, I'm not carrying a 24-pack of beer if I'm through hiking. My pack's as light as it could be. I have no intentions. Oh, okay. I thought maybe I was going to say you can't go up here. I'm like, I don't think that's the case. Anyhow, yeah, that's my rant. Pack it in, pack it out, or don't, don't camp where you're not supposed to be lighting fires if you want to light a fire. Do that at your home. It's like the people leaving the toilet paper. If I come to your house, take a leak, and throw toilet paper on the floor, are you okay with that? Why is it okay out here? Especially when you're at your car. That's the height of laziness. You're right at your car. So I don't know. If you're one of those people, stop doing it, please. It's not up to us to pick up after you. Especially if you're a grown adult. The rest of you, happy hiking. My trail report is Trail was clear from top of Pitcher Mountain to King Street, with the exception of one birch across the trail at 5.1 miles from Pitcher Mountain, or 0.7 miles from King Street. And if they let me come up here with my chainsaw, I'll be more than happy to cut it for them. I'll take my sidekick. Alright guys, have a good day. Thanks for listening to my rants.
That's all, folks.